The Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta, 350 CE. The Allahabad Prasasti of Samudragupta was composed by Harisena, who was a poet and minister in the royal court. He assumed the official titles Sandivigrahika, Minister of War and Peace, Kumaramatya, Minister attached to the king and the crown prince, and Mahadhanayaka, officer in charge of military and judicial matters. The inscription was executed by another important officer named Tilithabhataka. He is also described as a Mahadhandanayaka who meditated on the feet of the Paramabhattaraka, who is undoubtedly referring to the sovereign. It is interesting to note that the verses of this inscription are consecutively numbered. Perhaps this is the earliest inscription where the verses are numbered serially. There are 33 lines in total. The introductory portion of the record is much damaged and the first two verses are completely illegible. The rest of the verses in this portion up to line 15 are also not in a good state of preservation. The inscription speaks about the fame of the king whose body was most charming, being covered with the plenteous beauty of the marks of hundreds of scars cast by battle axes, arrows, spikes, spears, barbed darts, swords, iron clubs, javelins, barbed arrows, long arrows, and many other weapons. The inscription mentioned that Samudragupta, the Maharajadiraja, son of the prosperous Chandragupta I, the Maharajadiraja, born of the Mahadevi Kumaradevi and daughter son of the Lichavi, son of the prosperous Gatotkacha, the Maharaja, and the son of the sons of the prosperous Gupta, the Maharaja. The major portion of the eulogy is devoted to the glory and military achievements of the king. The contents of the inscription are indispensable for the study of the historical geography of India and the extent of the Gupta Empire conquest. His initial military campaigns were directed towards extending his control over territories lying immediately beyond this area. Lines 13 to 15 of the inscription states that Samudragupta in his first Aryavarta were defeated three important rulers, namely Achyuta, Nagasena and Ganapati Nagha of North India. The three Naga rulers possibly formed a coalition against the king, probably ruled over the territories between western Uttar Pradesh and northwestern Madhya Pradesh. In his Dakshinapatha campaign, the king has defeated 12 rulers of the different kingdoms of South India. In lines 19 to 20, not only the names but also the kingdoms have been specified. They are Mahendra of Kosala, Vyagraraja of Mahakanthara, Mantaraja of Kurala, Mahendragiri of Pisthapura, Swamidatta of Kotura, Damana of Erandapalli, Vishnugopa of Kanchi, Nilaraja of Avamukta, Hastivarman of Vengi, Ugrasena of Palaka, Gubera of Devarashtra, and Dhananjaya of Kustalapura. Here, Samudragupta followed a different policy. No doubt he defeated all the 12 rulers, but he liberated and reinstated them in the respective kingdoms. All the conquered territories were restored to the respective rulers. This policy has been mentioned in the Allahabad inscription as Grahana Moksha Anugraha. In his second Aryavarta war, he had defeated 9 rulers of North India. They were Rudradeva, Mathila, Nagadatta, Chandravarman, Ganapati Naga, Nagasena, Achyuta, Nandin and Balavarman, all of whom were violently exterminated. The inclusion of Nagasena, Ganapati Naga and Achyuta in the list evidently makes it apparent that the three who were defeated by the king in his first Aryavarta war were again exterminated. It seems that in the absence of the emperor in North India during his army movement to the south, These rulers again formed a confederacy against Samudragupta and challenged the emperor. Besides, the king had also subjugated the Atavika or forest kingdoms. Line 22 of the inscription describes the conquest of Samudragupta over the frontier states. The names of the frontier states as mentioned in the inscription are Samatata, Davaka, Kamarupa, Nepala and Katharipura. Samatata has been identified with the area around southeast Bengal comprising of the delta of the Ganges and the Brahmaputra. Davaka has not yet been properly identified. Fleet thinks that it was the ancient name of Dhaka. Kamarupa and Nepal are the same as Assam and Nepal respectively. Kartarapura could be the region including Kuamon, Kharwad and Rukhilkhand in Uttarakhand. All the above frontier kingdoms not only accepted the suzerainty of the overlord but also offered allegiance and tribute to him. In the western side of his empire, there were a number of tribal kingdoms who were famous for their bravery. Most of these tribes were inhabited in Punjab, Rajputana and central India. 9 such tribal states were suppressed by Samudragupta. They are the Malavas, the Arjunayanas, the Yaudeyas, the Mandrakas, the Abhiras, the Prajunas, the Sanakanikas, the Kakas, and the Karaparikas. The inscription then gives the names of some independent foreign countries such as Daivaputra Sahi Sahanushahi, Sakamurundas, Simhalas, and all other dwellers in islands, Sarvat Dvipavasin as entering into friendly relationship with Samudragupta. Saka Murundas ruled over the western India. Simhala is the same as Ceylon. It is known from other sources that Meghavarman, the king of Ceylon, had a cordial relationship with Samudragupta. With the permission of the latter, he built a monastery at Bodh Gaya for use of the Ceylonese pilgrims. The reference to Sarvadipavasin in the Allahabad Prashasti is indeed very interesting. It evidently shows that the Hindu colonies in the Southeast Asia maintained close contact with their mother country in the Gupta age. In order to commemorate his magnificent conquest in different directions, Samudragupta had performed Ashwamedha sacrifices. This is proved by the Ashwamedha type of gold coins issued by the king with legend Ashwamedha Parakrama.